guys just acquired Chad Ruhwedel from Pittsburgh. Just what are your initial thoughts kind of on the player he is?
I think adding a right shot defenseman to our group of defensemen, I think, is important heading down the stretch and into the playoffs.
You've seen, obviously, throughout the years you played against him, plenty. Just what do you think he can bring on ice other than right shot?
Veteran defenseman, moves the puck well. Has a lot of experience in games in the NHL, and again, when you're taking on the end of the season and what you hope to be a long playoff run, having that depth, I think, is really important, and he provides that with his experience and the way he plays the game. He's a guy that can come in and help us.
Speaking of defense depth, I mean, Trouba not present again for a second straight day. Is there an update that you could share with us about his status?
No, he's still day to day being evaluated.
Do you, again, maybe not the person to ask the question, but is getting Ruhwedel have anything to do with Trouba being out, you think?
No, they're the depth part of it in the long run for the end of the season and hopefully in the playoffs that would be the reason for adding a guy like that. So not the other way.
You had 2 practices with Alex now. How does he fit in so far?
He fits in great. I mean, he knows some players on the team already, and I think it's been a pretty easy transition. Pretty excited to be here, and on the ice he moves really well. Good skill level, good skater, effortless skater, and for 2 days it's been good.
But I wanted to ask you a little bit about Kakko. I know he had the injury, 21 games and all that.
Yeah.
What have you seen from him lately? I know he was playing really well with on that line with Cooley and Brodzinski. What have you seen with him since he's moved up with Mika and Chris?
I see him trying to have an impact more in the offensive zone, trying to get to better areas to create and to score. I thought last game that line was working to create. It was obviously a tight game, a tough game. Florida plays a stingy game defensively, and there's things I think we could have done better to manage that through the neutral zone after we lost the tie halfway through the third period. They really clamped down. But I think he's working to make his best impression to be an impact on that line.
Is with him, does there come a point where it's okay to do all these things that you do and work the boards and hold possession and stuff, but ultimately you have to score more?
Well, I think that's why we end up changing things and moving things, because we look for production. And his line was doing good when he was down with, I think it was Johnny and Cools. But even that had tapered off a little bit, and so we made a move inside of our lineup of just switching those players. And I think he's working to create up there. And at the end of the day, we look for production from all of our lines and all of our players. It's important. We got to score goals. So that's why some lines that have just stayed, they've produced the entire year, and others have moved around a little bit because you're trying to find an edge or find a little bit more from a production standpoint. And you work until you find it and you get it and you're happy with it.
One more question about Chad. I'm just curious, is he someone who can, I know obviously he's mainly right side, but can he play both, and do you think?
He can, but I think just having another right shot defenseman was good. But we have guys, I think there are some players that can switch back and forth. I think that's important when you can get guys that are versatile, so yeah.
With Wenberg coming in that sort of, knocking certain guys down a little bit, just curious for your thoughts on the situation with, how you might manage some of the guys that have come up recently and had a chance to make an impression, Edstrom, Rempe, and how fluid maybe you view that situation for who's going to stay in the lineup?
Yeah, I think it'll move. I think we'll try to get guys games here and just keep guys in the lineup and keep the lines and the lineup may change a little bit just to keep guys going. It could be based on the opponent and who we're playing as to what we might need inside of that game. Anytime there's change to a team with regard to a trade like that. There's always going to be some movement, and then it's our job to figure out where everything slots in from there. But I would like to keep guys playing some games down the stretch here so that they've got some games under their belt as we head towards the playoffs.
So in your mind, it doesn't have to be the same 12 every night. You're okay with a little
Yeah.
rotation in
Yes.
some spots.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts just on the weekend getting ready for St. Louis, having a couple of days to kind of ramp back up?
Yeah, I mean, it was good. Again, just touching base, especially with you get a new face out here. It's nice to go through some of the systems part of it, and oftentimes that can happen, and you're playing that night, and everything's really rushed. I think it was a good chance for him to come in and get to know the guys in practice, and it's been great. Just like I said, he was an easy fit in the locker room. But I think having a couple days off was good, and then a couple days of practice, and then back to work with games. It gets really busy in the schedule coming up here, as you guys know, and so just I could take advantage of the time that we had to rest for a couple days and now work for a couple.